Okay, let's get started. So, the first concept for today, just a second. Yeah, first concept for today, let us understand them this way. See, first, please tell me now, imagine this is your home or house, whatever, villa, something. Okay, this is somewhere in some area. So, yeah, where it happened. Okay. This is your house somewhere in JP Nagar or Jayanagar in Bangalore. Okay, and now see, now what happens? This is a open area. This is a open area. Okay, like open house. Now anybody can come in, anybody can entry, and anybody can exit. That is, anybody can come and anybody can go. Right? If this is your home, that means there is no restriction or there is no security here. Right? Anybody can come and anybody can go out of your home. Now I wanted to have some security to my house. That is, I wanted to restrict whoever is coming to my home. I wanted to check them whether they are authorized people. Then only I wanted to allow them inside my house. That is, only if they are authorized, only known by me, then I should allow them. If I don't know these people, what I should do, I should deny them. Okay. Now I wanted to do this. How we are going to do, sir? What you will do, you will just simply employ or hire one person. Who is that person? That person is your security guard. What does this now? What he'll do? What is the duty of this security guard? Who are the people coming to your house? What he'll do? First, he'll check. He'll just check whether these people are known by my owner. That is, he'll only if the person who is coming inside your house, only if that person is known by you, then only he'll allow. Who will allow? This security guard will check this person and allow you inside the house. Okay. And if he doesn't know that person, if I doesn't know that person, what I should do? I should deny that person. He should not be entering my premises or house. This is what the duty of your security guard. One is allow or deny. Correct? And what does that mean? That means is restricting. Can I call it as restricting unauthorized access? Correct? I can also call it as an restricting unauthorized access. This is the first thing. And what is the second thing here? See, this is the first thing I wanted to give you. The second thing is, okay, now this guard is checking this person. One person is coming in here and he's checking that person whether is known by my owner or is unknown person. Once all the checking is done, what he'll do, he'll allow that person inside. Now please tell me, while coming back, while coming out of this premises, while coming out, again, does this security guard going to check this person while going back? When he'll check, only while entering into this premises, then he will check. At that time, what he'll do, he'll allow that person inside your home, correct? While coming out of your home, he'll not check. Why I need to check who? Already I checked him once. While coming out, I don't have any this one. I don't have a need to check that person. Correct? So while entering while allowing will check that person for accessing. While coming out, we are not going to check that person. So the point you should remember from this story, from this security guard, what this security guard will do, he'll provide a security to your house. How he will provide? He'll provide by restricting the unauthorized access. That is the first one. He'll allow the persons or he'll deny the persons. Correct? And what is the second thing? While coming inside your house, he'll check the person. But while going out of your house, he is not checking that person. Okay? Sir, everybody understood this? What does this security guard will do?
Yes.
Yeah. See now, just replace your home with your EC2 instance. This is your EC2 instance. Inside EC2 instance, I'm hosting some application. Okay. Now this is my house. Now what happens? Anybody can come and anybody can go. Right? Then where is the security? There is no security for my application inside this EC2 machine. Right? Now what I need to do? I need to employ some security guard here. Who's that security guard here? The security guard is nothing but here we call it as a security group. Here same things are here also SG, here also SG. What this security group will do? It will restrict the unauthorized access to your application. That is the first thing it will do. Okay. And first tell me, what do you mean by security group? Can I define it like this? Security group is nothing but a firewall, at an instance level. Please remember this word. Security group is nothing but a firewall at an instance level, okay, or at an EC2 server level. EC2 server level, what it will do, which helps us to protect what the security guard we used to do is to protect who are the owner is sitting inside this house, right? Now, same thing here, it helps us to protect the application or helps us to protect the resources. Resources from whom? From unauthorized access. This is how you can define a security group. So, what do you mean by security group? Security group is nothing but a firewall at an instance level, at a EC2 server level, instance level or EC2 server level, which helps us to protect the resources from an unauthorized access. Okay. This is at a instance level. If this is your EC2 machine, first layer of security. What is that first layer of security? Is nothing but your security group. What it will do? It will restrict the unauthorized access. That is the first point. Second, it will allow or deny the requests coming in from the internet. Okay, how it will allow or deny, that will talk about that. And can I also say it controls incoming and outgoing traffic to your instance. Here what the security guard is doing, he's controlling who should go in and who should come out, right? That's the same replication here. It what did I write here? What is this? It controls incoming and outgoing traffic to your instance. That is also another point. Okay. Now, what are the points that we discussed? Here you can also add one more point. It is kind of an virtual firewall. Virtual firewall at an instance level. just to secure that resources or a website, whatever the application that you're posting inside. Okay. Now there are some keywords. I told you, right? What you'll do before entering the person or before a request here in your security guard example person in your security group, it is a request. What is that request? We use our phones, right? If I am hosting my application, if I'm hosting Facebook application inside my EC2 instance, I need to send a request from my phone, right? Before allowing this request, what the security group will do, it will check whether should I allow or whether should I deny. That checking will do security group will do now. Okay. Now, now see, you might have heard or you might be reading somewhere in your blogs or somewhere. First, incoming, inbound, and ingress. The meaning of all three words is allow, come in, incoming. The meaning of all three words is incoming, incoming traffic, inbound traffic, allow the traffic, all these things. Inbound. Okay. Now, when it comes to outgoing or outbound or egress, what is the meaning? Go out, outbound traffic, outgoing or outbound. That is the meaning of all these three words. Please remember this. Why? Because the next point here is we call the security group as a stateful firewall. Please remember this. Stateful firewall. Okay. Now, security group, you know what is security group? It is a protection at an instant level, firewall at an instance level. What it will do, it manages incoming or inbound and outbound traffic. It controls incoming and outgoing traffic to your EC2 instance. Okay. Now, I'm adding one more point. Security group is a stateful firewall. Okay. First, in firewalls, I think everybody know what is firewall. I'm not going to explain this. Okay. What is firewall? It's kind of a protection for your home. That's it, sir. Nothing apart from that. In firewalls, we have two kinds of firewalls. One is stateful firewall and another one is stateless firewall. Okay. First, we are talking about stateful firewall. Now, I told you security group is a stateful firewall. Okay. Now, what do you mean by stateful then? That is, see, if just to give you a brief about this. Now, this is my security group. This red one is my security group. Okay. Now, what it is doing? It has to check the request. See, whenever I already explained this, right? Why I'm doing, see this one, which one? Where it is? While entering into the house, you just need to check that person. While coming out, whether you are going to check that person, you're not going to check that person. Correct? Just apply the same thing here. Okay. That means what is a stateful firewall here? Stateful firewall is nothing but if you allow the inbound traffic. I wanted to note these points, note down these points so you can able to create a notes out of it. If you allow the inbound traffic the corresponding outbound traffic is automatically allowed. What do you mean by that? We call it as this one as a stateful firewall. Sir, anyone can unmute yourself and tell me what is the meaning of the statement? If you allow the inbound traffic, the corresponding outbound traffic is automatically allowed. Does it similar to your security guard example? Once the guest is allowed inside after checking, here what the checking is. Once the check is done, while coming back, nobody is going to check that person. The same, just apply the same thing here. If you allow the incoming traffic to your EC2 instance, then here I'm allowing this person. Correct? If you allow inbound traffic to your EC2 instance, then outbound traffic or outcoming traffic while going back from your house, that is automatically allowed. Clear? What do you mean by a stateful set? Stateful set, the security group is a stateful firewall. So if you allow the inbound traffic to your EC2 instance or to your application, then the corresponding outbound traffic is automatically allowed. Please remember this. Yes? Any doubts here? Hello?
No.
Now, what are the points that we discussed? What is security group now? If somebody asks you, what you should say? Security is nothing but a similar to your security guard or similar to your doorkeeper. What is the duty of the doorkeeper? You just need to ensure only authorized people can come in and can go out. This is what the duty of your security guard or doorkeeper. Same thing what your security group is doing, whether it will allow the request or it should deny the request. Same thing it is doing. Okay. And in words, it is nothing but a virtual firewall. It helps us to protect your EC2 resources. Or you can also say it is a virtual firewall at an EC2 instance level. Okay. It is a firewall at EC2 instance level. It controls incoming and outgoing traffic. Next point is it is a stateful firewall. What is stateful firewall? If incoming traffic is allowed, then automatically outbound traffic is allowed for your security group. Okay. Now, how to create a security group? See. How to create a security group? Just come to your AWS. Where is this? Under VPC. Yeah. Just search for VPC. Just click on this. If you come down here, you can able to see security groups. Just click on that. It is a free service. There is no charge for this. Okay. Just click on security group. Okay. And you can provide any name. First security group. If you want to provide any description, provide that. I am just creating a empty security group now. Create a security group. Allow access description. Some description you give. Okay. My security group is created. Where is my security group? This is the one, correct? First security group. Now we have created our first security group. Okay. What is the next thing we should do? Next thing, you should configure your inbound traffic who should come into your resource and who should go out of your resource. For doing that, just click on this security group. Okay. Once you are inside your security group, just come down. Here you can able to see inbound rules and outbound rules. So do we need to configure? First thing is first, as I already told you, it is a stateful firewall. That means you just need to configure the incoming traffic. While going out, you no need to configure here. It will be automatically allowed. Okay. You just need to focus on inbound rules in security rules. Okay. Now, before adding some rules, basics are first. Now, next question comes to your mind as how to configure this inbound traffic and outbound traffic. How we are going to configure? See, based on your protocol, based on your port, based on the IP address range, based on these things, you're going to configure. But now, first, you should know what is port and protocol, right? See, sir, just let us understand in this way. Do not very, do not think much of these concepts. See, let us say if this is your house. Okay. Now, if this is your house, how many doors you are having? You are having one door. Correct? That means if anybody, any person comes in or wanted to come in or go out of your house, from where he should come from the same door and he should go out of the same door. Correct? That means, see, your door is acting as an main entry point. From this is where I can also call it as a, can I call it as a access point? From this is where everybody can come in and go out of your house. Correct? See, just replace your door with your port. Okay. Whenever you host your application inside your EC2 machine, okay, that application is accessible through only some door, only through some window, just like your house. That window, we call it as a port here. That's it. It is just like having number of windows in your home. This is your laptop. You have number of windows in your or windows in your laptop. I'll host one application, let's say Facebook application, and where I can host access that application, port 80 is the door number for that. And I'll also host another application, Instagram, where I can host that application. I can host application at some point, some location. What is that? 90, door number is 90. Just like that, your port is nothing but just a number, which helps you to access your application. That's it. Okay. Now, there is another word here. Protocol and port. Okay. Now, let us list down what are the protocols you have. You have first one is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. What is the port number for HTTP? Sir, it is 80 is the port number. HTTPS port number is 443. What is the port number for SSH? Port number is 22. What is the port number for Telnet? It is 23. And what is the port number for RDP? Port number is 3389. And likewise, please note down tomorrow at least some 20 ports. What are the protocols available and what are the ports available? Now, see, just don't. What is this protocol? Protocol is nothing but a set of rules. Okay. What do you mean by this set of rules? Somebody has already developed this. How to tell you this? Let me. I'll just take 2 minutes before I don't want to create any confusion here. Let's say this is your phone. Okay. Now only you are going to buy this phone, right? And you just know how to use this phone. That's it, correct? Do you really know how this phone gets manufactured? What are the things they are using to manufacture your phone? What are the things they are using to manufacture this phone? Or what kind of materials they are using to manufacture this phone? That means you don't know the internal components of this phone. You just know how to buy a phone and how to use your phone. Correct? Just apply the same concept here. They have already given some phones to you: HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, Telnet, RDP, similar to that. They already gave you some phone. Even I don't know how they internally works, but what I just know how to use them and where to use them. That's it. You just focus on these things. Do not worry about how it will do, what it will do. That you will never come to know, sir. Just like your this example, you will never know how they are manufacturing your phones. You just need to use it. That's it. Okay. In that same way, just protocol is nothing but a set of rules. All these rules are included inside this protocol. They developed already inside this. Okay. Now, just to clarify things here, if this is the EC2 instance, and now what should I do? In your security group, if you wanted to access the application through HTTP, what should I do, sir? Let us imagine HTTP is a person. If he comes, what is the window allocated? What is the door allocated to that person? The door allocated to that person is IT. If HTTP is a person, if he comes, then what should be open? 80 port should be open. Then where you should open that, you should tell your security guard, okay, see, if HTTP person comes, then open my security group 80 or window 80, door 80. So I should allow this at inbound traffic. I should allow the port 80. Then only it can come inside my application. If in the same way, if HTTPS person comes, what is the door number for his identity? Door number is 443. If this person is coming inside your, if you want to come inside your house, then what is the door number I should allow, or I should inform my security guard? You allow this person to come through your 443 door number. If SSH person comes, 22 is my door number. If this guy comes, 23, 3389. So that is how, based on your port protocol or IP range, you are allowing or denying a traffic to your EC2 instance. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Stateful firewall. Yes. Everybody understood or how it is? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is what your port and protocol is. Okay. Now let us see how to create this. We already saw how to create this security group. Right. Now let us come to security group inbound rules. Where does this security group? Here is my security group. This is the security group I just created, right? Just come to that security group, inbound rules. and outbound rules. As you already know, security group is a stateful set, a stateful firewall. So you no need to worry about outbound rules. Just come to inbound rule, edit inbound rules. Just click on that, and here you're going to add your rules. Rules is nothing but you're going to inform your security guard, see bro, these are the members who are coming in to my house. Only you should allow these persons. That activity you should do here. Add rule, just click on add rule, and here you just need to mention whatever the thing that you want. What do you want now? I want SSH. What is the door number for SSH? See, it is already taking by default. 22 is my window number. What I should do is just select anywhere IPv4 here. Okay. Now it has been allowed. Now what I'm doing, whenever a SSH request comes in through your internet, then it will allow. Okay. Now I'm just saving the rule. If you just look at it, it has been added. Again, if you wanted to add another rule here, just again select whichever the thing you want, or you can also select custom TCP. Just write down the port number here. I'll just say 443. Okay, custom IPv4, anywhere IPv4, and I'll just save this rule. Okay, if I just again come back to my this one, see, I did not this time, I did not provided this HTTPS. I just selected custom TCP. I just provided the port number. It automatically took what is the protocol. Okay, and you can add as many rules as you want. Custom TCP, UDP, ICMP, and there are so many others. Just go back today and see what is this port, how many ports are there, how many protocols are there, what is the port number for that protocol. Just list it down. Okay, that is not an important one, but if you know that details, it's well and good. Okay, I'm just saving this. I did not add it here. IPv4. I don't want this. If you don't want, just come here and delete that. Okay. Now, see, let us create an EC2 instance out of my security group. Just select EC2 instance, instances, launch an instance. I'll just say server or something like that. Select the Ubuntu machine, and key pair is something, laptop key. And here, see, here, can you able to see this? Edit. Where if you click on edit, here you can able to see select existing security group. Here you can able to see our first security group somewhere down. Here, this is the security group just now we created, right? What I'm doing, have created a security group now, and to my EC2 instance, I'm attaching this security group on top of my EC2 instance. That is what I'm doing. If you're not creating a security group, by default, your AWS creates one security group. If you're not selecting, but if you're selecting, that option is also available. Okay, just select a security group, then all remaining things are same, then launch in EC2 instance. Okay, now if I wanted to log into this, I just wanted to show you this. Okay, now if I wanted to log into this, what should I do? Just click on that, connect. You already know the command, right? One git bash here, paste, and done. It is still, what is happening? I think still it is not up. Yeah, it is opening, right? It is initializing. Just wait for a second. Just wait for a second. It has to change its status. Let me try again. Oh, it is taking so much time. Okay. Just create a security group and just try to create an EC2 instance out of it. I don't know why it is taking too much time. Okay. Now let me try. Did we allow security group here? Just select a EC2 instance, whichever the EC2 instance we created. Just come to security. Here you can able to see security group. Just click on that and inbound rule. Edit inbound rule. SSH. SSH is already allowed. Custom IPv4. Save rules. You have not made any changes. Okay, then why it is not allowed? Connect to host ec2.com port 22. 22 is open here, right? Okay. Connect to host ec2 south port 422 connection time. See, it is telling me the error SSH port number is 22. Connect to this host.com port 22 is 422 connection timeout. That means it is telling me port 22 is not allowed here. But I am allowing this port here. It is already allowed. Why it is not giving me? Just come on. Just try to connect through this. Connect. EC2 direct connect. Establishing connection. Configuration. I literally don't know why it is not allowing me. Create another EC2 instance. Or just create it by yourself and try once. It will work, sir. I don't know why it is not giving me. It is giving me some error here. That is what you should do. That's it. There is nothing much here to do. Okay, just try this once. And the next concept is, any doubts here? Okay, see, Now today is going to be completely a theory session. Okay. Now let us assume this is your one of the data center. This is your data center inside your AWS. Okay. Inside this data center, now first tell me what kind of cloud is AWS? AWS is nothing but a public cloud. Correct? That means anybody can come into AWS. They can create multiple accounts here. Correct? This is your AWS. AWS is a public account. So anybody can come into your AWS account, AWS, and they can create their account. Account 1, account 2, account 3. And I am also creating account 4 here. Okay. Now, whenever we create a EC2 instance or EC2 servers or host our applications inside this EC2 server, what happens? These EC2 instance is going to be created inside your one of the rack. We already talked about rack. You remember? It is going to be created inside your rack. We have a hypervisor. Inside this hypervisor, your application or EC2 instance is going to be created. Now, please tell me this account 1 is belonging to Facebook. This account 2 is belonging to Flipkart. This account 3 is belonging to some phone pay. This account 4 is belonging to me, Sachin. Okay. Now, do you have a guarantee whether they are going to be created in separate tracks? Do you have that guarantee from your AWS? The possibility here is all these four accounts. All these four accounts, your Facebook application, Flipkart application, PhonePe application, and Sachin's application, all might be created in a single rack inside your single hypervisor. That is also chances is there, right? So that means it is kind of, see, three persons. One is from Infosys, one is from Wipro, and one is from TCS. Now, what their bosses has told, what their managers has told them, see, there are three persons coming. Whenever if you're going Infosys, Wipro, and TCS, you should not communicate to each other. But what is the thing? They are all sitting or they are all staying in a single room. Okay. Now, even though they informed that you should not communicate to each other, now there might be a communication between these three persons, right? Apply the same thing here. See, the applications are running inside or created, my EC2 missions are created inside a single hypervisor in my data center. So there might be an internal communication between all these applications. So if there is an internal communication, that means there is a data breach. There is a no security for my application. Correct? Though they are different applications, I agree. Though they are running in different EC2 machines, that is fine. But still, there might be a chances of internal communication between these applications. Okay. Now, if I don't wanted my applications to communicate to each other, then comes your concept known as VPC. Okay. What is this VPC? VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud. What does this do? VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud. What it allows you to do, it helps us to build, our own isolated network. It helps us to build our own isolated network where we can host our resources or applications, anything. That is, can I say it helps us to protect from unauthorized accesses. This is also I can say, or you can also say it helps us to protect incoming and outgoing traffic to your application. That also I can say. Uh, as of now, just remember these points. Okay. What is VPC? Sir, everybody understood why we are creating VPC here. This is because there might be a information exchange between the applications. So that is the reason what we're doing. We are creating a VPC. That means if now, from now on, instead of creating our EC2 instances randomly, what we'll do, we'll create our own secure network. This is my own network. Inside my own network, from now on, I'm going to create this EC2 instance. Then that means so any applications which are existing in other inside my data center, there will not be any communication between them. That is the first reason. And these are the points related to your VPC. Okay. Next point here is, sir, everybody understood why we need VPC? Clear? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you now understood what is VPC and why we need VPC. Now, what we need to understand is VPC architecture. This is very important. Please concentrate here. Okay. Now we need to understand VPC architecture. Just I'll take it like this. Now, let's say this is your VPC. On the other hand, I'll also take another example just for your understanding. Here, let us assume this is your 3040 site. Okay. Now, in one of the area, you have your site. This is assume this is your some area, JP Nagar or Jayanagar in Bangalore. And here you bought a 3040 site. So what you will do inside this data center, you have created your own isolated network through your VPC. Here also you bought a house and you added some protection to your site. Okay. Now this VPC is done. Now, once you buy your this 3040 site, then what you will do, sir? You need to construct your house, correct? So if you wanted to construct your house, how you are going to plan? If you're constructing, that means you are dividing this 3040 site into multiple pieces. That means I want one room here, private room. I want another room for my kid. I want a private washroom or bathroom here. I want a one hall or something here, right? And this is where my entry is. This is how you are going to divide your home, right? Based on your requirement, you are going to divide your house. Just apply the same thing here. Now we have created a VPC. Now what should I do? Just imagine again the same. This is a 3040 site. You have created a VPC. Now, what should I do, sir? I should start dividing my VPC based on my requirement. How you want it to divide. Okay. Now, let's say, just give me a second. Let's say, sorry. you have divided your home server. Now, let us again come back to the same house example. This is your hall. So, hall is this one. And here is your bedroom or some washroom here. Now, if there is a person and is an unknown person, right? If he comes into your house just to meet your father or someone, where he should sit? He should sit inside, only inside this hall, right? This is hall. So can I call this hall as a public area? Anybody who can come in, they're having access till to this point. They cannot come to your washroom or they cannot come to your room. The access is denied here, correct? So that means they can come only inside your hall and they can go out from this hall. See, apply the same logic here. While this is your VPC, and what we are going to do is just we divided here a 30-40 side, just like that. We are also going to divide your VPC into two parts. One is public subnet. Okay. First, let me tell you what is subnetting. Subnetting is nothing but dividing larger network area into smaller network areas, sir. That's it. Here you are dividing 30-40 site into your small rooms. Here you are dividing your larger network area into smaller network areas. That's it. Okay. In subnetting, in subnets, we have two kinds of subnets. First one is public subnet and second one is private subnet. Okay. Now let us understand what is this public subnet. If this is your VPC, inside this VPC, we have created one public subnet. We have created one room. Now, just same example, if this is your house, this is your hall, then who can access this hall? Anybody can come and access this, right? Just use the same thing here. Now, inside my public subnet, what I'll do, I'll host my application here. And let me complete this and I'll again come back. Here is your internet. This is your internet. And whenever you browse an application through your phone or through your laptop, the request comes to your public subnet. That means, please remember this, whenever if an application, if an application needs to be accessed, by the general public. We are all the public, right? General public through your internet. Then these kind of applications are hosted under public subnet. Any application, if it is need to be accessed by your general public, then these kind of through internet, then these kind of applications are hosted inside your public subnet. That means just similar to that. This is your subnet. This is your VPC. This is your public subnet. Just dividing this. This is your public subnet. What I'm doing, I'm hosting my application inside my public subnet, and if any person coming out from the internet, then he can be connected to this area. Okay. Everybody understood what is public subnet? Here we are going to host our web service. Okay. The front end of your application is hosted under public subnet. Now comes your private subnet. See, I'm just taking that example hand to hand so that you can have a better understanding. Now, this is my public area, right? This is my hall. So all the person can come in and they can go out from your outside your friends or something like that, outside friends. Now, there is another area known as private area here. The rooms, private rooms. Who can come in and go out of this private rooms? Only authorized authorized friends or family members can come inside this room and go out of this. That means just apply the same concept here. If you're hosting an application, this is your public area. Inside your public area, what you have? You have a web server. Through this web server, anybody from the internet, they can come in and access this application. But we have some private resources. What are those private resources? We have a database as a private resource. We have a application server as a private resource. For these things, these are the private ones. These are the information, correct? This is the data related to my application. So it is not required by the users from your internet. It is not required. They just need to access this application. For better understanding, let's say if this is your Facebook application, inside this is a front end of your Facebook application, then here is your application server, that is business logic. Here is your database. Now, if people are coming, if we are all the users, if these are all the users, right? Now, what we are going to access? We are just going to access this front end of that application. Do we have the access to this application layer or database layer? We don't have the access because these are the private resources. Who can access these private resources? Only authorized people can access these private resources. Clear? If there is an application which doesn't require general public access, which no public can access, those kind of resources we are going to host under private subnet. Clear, guys? Hello. So there is no voice. Any difficulties? Did you understood? Okay. I'll assume it has no difficulties then. Okay. So now you understood what is public subnet, what is VPC, right? This is my VPC. And what I'm doing, I'm dividing this larger network into smaller network areas called as subnets. In that, first one is my public subnet and second one is my private subnet, right? The red one is public subnet and this one is private subnet. Inside public subnet, what I'm going to host? I'm going to host web servers. That is, I'm going to create a EC2 instance which is having a web server. This is what I'm going to create. And what I'm going to host inside my private subnet, I'm going to host my database servers. I'm going to host my application servers. That means no general public need direct access to my database. Only the people from the internet can able to access this application through my public subnet. There is no direct access for the public. Do you have the access to your Facebook server? Do you have the access to your Facebook database? No. You have just access to this front end of that application. Correct? So private subnet is for hosting private resources. This is for public resources. Now, there are Two components, public is done, private subnetting is done. Next point here is, see here, now if a user, this is your internet, if a user want to come from outside from internet through your phone to your application, or sometimes, let me take it in this way. Yeah, if this is your internet and this is where your public subnet is, this is where your application. Now, can we able to directly connect from your EC2 instance to internet, or from your internet to your direct machine? There is no direct connection here. Can you observe? There is no line drawn. There is no connection between your internet and your application. So what you should do, you should establish a connection between the requests coming in from the internet, coming in from the different users through the internet to your application. You should establish a connection. You should show them a path. Okay, if you wanted to access my application, go to this location. This is where my application is hosted. Some connection you need to create, right? So for creating that connection, what you do is, there is a resource called as, just let me change my color here. Okay. There is a resource known as IGW. What is this IGW? IGW is nothing, stands for Internet Gateway. So what it will do, whenever a request is coming from internet, it accepts those requests and forwarded it to my EC2 instance. If any requests are coming in, now the requests are coming to my Facebook application through internet, what this IGW will do, or Internet Gateway will do, it will accept the request from the public. Please remember, I'm using the word public, or from the outside world through the internet. Whenever the requests are coming from the internet, first what happens? Your IGW accepts those requests and forwarded it to your EC2 instance. Okay. Now, sometimes even your application should sometimes wanted to go out. Let's say you are using um, some Facebook application, and for 1 year you're using this Facebook application. Now after some time you need to update or upgrade some components of this, or here we are using some web server. That web server I wanted to update. Again, what happens? Again, you should go back to your internet, correct? So what it will do, if the requests are coming from internet, or if the requests are going out from the EC2 instance or from the server, it accepts it and it will provide a location to that internet. Which component is doing? That component is nothing but your IGW. It is kind of a mediator which accepts the request and forward that request to particular resource or particular application. Clear, guys? Any doubts here? What is IGW? Okay. Now, let us assume the same concept again. This is your public area. This is your room. And inside my room, this area is done now. And there is one main entrance. Correct? Now, this public area I completed. How to connect IGW, everything I linked. Now we should come to this part. See, here these are the private resources. That means nobody can access. Correct? Now, here are some person here is staying in this room, and he is a kind of a terrorist guy. He's a terrorist or some person, illegal activity person. Now what he wanted to do, he wanted to come to your outside world, to the city to buy something he wanted to come out. So if he directly come out, what happens? Police are going to caught him and put him in the jail, right? That is what happens. So what he should do? He should change his identity. This is a person. What I'll do? I'll change my identity to different color or different something. Then I'll come out to the city. Then nobody can identify me. Just apply the same concept here. See, here are the DB application server. Sometimes even you should update this DB server. If it is from version 1 to version 2, I should update sometime. If you're using application server, even you should update these things as well. Correct? Now, again, if you wanted to update, where you should go, you should again come to the internet. But the problem here is I cannot directly come to the internet. This is because I have a security issues. I have some information with me that is very important for my application. I don't want it to expose that information to the internet, right? So at that time, what should I do? I should change my identity. Just like you are a terrorist guy, you're just going to change this identity. How you are going to change? There is something called as NAT gateway. What is this NAT gateway? Just like your internet gateway, there is another thing called as NAT gateway. What it will do? It will change your identity. Full form, network address translator. The word itself says it is a translator. What it will translate? It will translate its identity. What identity? See, it will take, I missed one point here. Your public subnet will have public IP and private IP both. So using this public IP, you can able to do SSH to this machine. In your private subnet, you will not be having a public IP. You will just have a private IP. So you cannot connect to this machine by doing SSH. Okay. Now it will just have a private IP. So what it will do, that gateway, it will take this private IP, convert that private IP into your public IP. Convert that into public IP. Then through your internet gateway, come to the internet, update yourself with the version 2, then again come back. This is what it will do. It will convert your private IP into the public IP. Then through your, I just created a mess out of here. Then through your internet gateway, it will go out to the internet. Then once it gets all the updated details, again, it will come back. Again, what it will do, it will convert this public IP into your private IP while coming in. While going out, convert it to private to public. While coming in, public to private. Clear? Guys? Hello? Sir, at least tell me whether you understood this or not. If you're not willing to unmute yourself, just reply it in the chat at least. Okay. So till now, whatever the things we discussed, first thing we discussed, what is VPC? Next, we discussed about what is subnetting, right? Next, we discussed about public subnet and what is private subnet and why we need to use this public subnet and private subnet. Next one, we discussed about what is that? We discussed about IGW, Internet Gateway. Next, we discussed about NAT Gateway, right? And there is another component of your VPC, that is, we call it as a routing table, that I'll discuss tomorrow. It is not a right time. Okay. So whenever if somebody asks why you need VPC, you know the answer. What is VPC? You know the answer. What is subnetting? You know the answer. What is public subnet? What is private subnet? Why you need public subnet and private subnet? You have an answer with you. What is IGW? You know the answer. What is NAT gateway? You know the answer. What it will do? You know the answer. Okay. Now I just left with this routing table that we'll discuss. Okay. So that's it for this class. And please go back. This is the basic introduction I gave you about VPC. Just go back to your, just go back and read this once more, and just invest some time on this. This is very important. Okay. So I wanted to cover. Just go back and read some blogs related to your VPC. You read that, then tomorrow again I'll come back to the same VPC concept, but not with the basic one. With the advanced stuff, we'll again see how to create this VPC, practical things tomorrow. How to create this VPC, how to establish a connection between your internet gateway, your resource, and your internet keys here. How to convert your private IP NAT gateway, private IP into public IP. How to send this request. This practical things we'll do it tomorrow. But before that, just go through that and learn this. And one more thing, I'll give you a notes for this. I have a very detailed, very simple notes I've prepared for this. I'll just give you, but I need some time. Okay. I just need to prepare this. I have a notes, but I just need to prepare some PDF format. Okay. But today you should go through some blocks and read, but I'll be providing a notes for this. The very simple notes. You no need to go to anywhere else in the internet. Everything is placed under one single roof. Okay. So that's it. Any doubts? Anything you wanted to discuss? Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Sir, please explain stateless file. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I know. I'll explain that tomorrow. This is because we just discussed about security group. Security group here is your stateful firewall. Again, we have a one more firewall known as NACL, NACL, Network Access Control List. This is also one more firewall. This is a stateless firewall. Okay. Now, if I wanted to explain this NACL, first you should know what is subnet. Just today we discussed what is private subnet and what is public subnet, right? So we are going to discuss this tomorrow. First, you should go through what is subnet, what is private subnet, what is public subnet. Then we'll come back to this NACL. Then we'll compare your security group versus your NACL, because this is one of the frequently asked interview question. Okay, so we'll see the comparison between these two tomorrow, and we'll see the practicals about your VPC. This is the agenda for tomorrow, and yeah, maybe see one note here. I'm just giving recorded sessions only to this week. From next week, you will not be receiving any recorded session from my end. Only for this week, I'll be uploading these things. Okay. From next week, it's your choice, sir. I don't have that much time just to sit edit all those things. I'm not going to provide those things. Fine. And please inform your friends if they are not attending the classes. I know. Okay, that's it from my end. There are no other questions. We can wind up the sessions. Okay. Thank you.
Sachin,
Yes, please.
just one doubt. Actually, when we are hosting a website, I mean, when we are giving the IP address, public IP address and port number, you told to, I mean, like when we are giving, I mean, hello, welcome, something like that word, sorry, indexed.
Yeah.
We are not getting the output. And when we are changing inbound rules, also, I mean, it is not giving the exact output. In that case, what we need to do?
I didn't get you.
I mean, from web link we are getting. I mean, from web page I am getting the output, but from index HTML file, if I write any, if any word and
see. What is your file name?
My file name is index.html.
Index.html must be the file name. It identifies that file name, and you should put your content inside that. Okay.
Okay.
If there are two index.html files, then it will take the first one, which is existing from the long back. Okay. Just
actually, I
delete that.
created a separate one, index1.html, and I am executing the.
No. If you wanted to pick that, just provide. Just do it like this. Am I sharing my screen?
Okay. Sorry, guys.
No issues. See, just provide your IP address 10.0.0.0 something colon 80 slash index.html. Whatever the name you provided, right? Index1.html or my name, Sachin.html or something you provided, right?
Okay.
If you wanted to access, then you should provide it like this. But if you are by default, if you are providing your index.html file, then no need of providing any file name here. Just IP address and port number. Okay?
Okay, Sachin.
Yeah,
fine.
Sure. If you're not getting, just let me know. I'll help you.
Yeah, I will try, Sachin.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Mike.